and we will proceed with some closing remarks. I mean, starting off with, unfortunately, the obvious. All good things come to the end. As the previous moderator told you, in order for you to get some sleep. The title we had was the next 100 years, but we started with history. Many of you went to Tartu before the conference even started. I like that city very much. It's where I was born and grew up, and where I intend to retire in 25 years or so, if at that time there is such thing as a retirement. Probably not. Well, looking back at this 100 years, this lovely city of Tartu has been occupied by force 5 times. Let's hope that the next 100 years will be better. Right now, Estonia has been, in the last 100 years, less than half free, more than half occupied. It's going to be in less than 4 years' time an interesting equator, according to good people who can calculate. On March 19th, 2022, that's the equator when, starting from 1918, Estonia has been more time independent than occupied. I'm sure we will note that at the Lennart Meri conference. Now, we're looking at the next 100 years, and as a famous quote usually attributed to Yogi Berra says, "It is difficult to make predictions, especially about the future." And Sven Mikser just reminded us that we do not have a crystal ball. I have one crystal ball, which tells you that you can save the dates for Lennart Meri Conference 2019 for May 17th till May 19th. As I said, all good things come to an end, and then we'll proceed it with other good things. But one thing what is coming to an end with this conference is the fact that six Lennart Meri conferences out of 12 have been organized by Riina, but it is her last conference, so please give her a great applause. Riina will get the floor in a second. By the way, this applause was very good. In Soviet propaganda, that would have been called a long-standing standing ovation. Her task will be picked up by Eva Ek Pajuster. So you have been very good in following orders from Riina. Now you have to follow her orders. You can see the name and the email address on the right side. We will have for foreigners, a pronunciation competition also next year. Now, without further ado, thank you really, Riina, and please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Sven. And this feels really strange for me to stand here in front of you for the last time as the director of this conference, because this has been an amazing journey, and I've been part of it actually from the very beginning. Since 2007, when Kadri started the conference, and I was sort of a helping hand. And then when Kadri left, then I took over the conference organization. And I mean, 12 years is a long time. So basically my physical body is tuned after the LMC time, because I know exactly when the low battery time starts and when I only live on adrenaline and all these things. But there is a saying that you will only know what you have achieved if you change and move on, and this is what I'm going to do. So I think it's a high time to let go and give new people a chance to do their work. But it's not only about me, so I would like to say some thanks, and I hope that you bear with me a little bit. First of all, I would like to thank our president, Kersti, for agreeing to take over the patronage of this conference. And I think that you have already, after 2 years, left your unique and distinct fingerprints on this conference. So everybody knows already who you are and what to expect from you. And this is also a very positive thing. But I have to defend myself a little bit. So I actually adjusted the program already this year. I left a little bit more time between the panels, and as you noticed, the Sunday morning session started at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock. But also that security is a kind of a thing that you cannot really solve between 9 and 5. So it's a 24/7 thing. So I think that I am doing pretty well here. And then I would like to thank all our sponsors, all our supporters and partners. I'm not going to name especially, I mean, of course, my closest cooperators and colleagues are people from the MFA and people from the MOD and also from President's Office. So I am really grateful for your cooperation and your great attitude, so that you are actually very flexible and you are really obeying my requests and sometimes orders. So I'm grateful. But also sponsors. I mean, please, if any of the sponsors is still here today, then I would like to tell you that please do not undermine the value of your contribution. Because this, I mean, fundraising is a difficult task, and everybody organizing events knows that. But, and even if your, I mean, market is not in this hall, or you don't benefit directly, then I think that hundreds and thousands of people benefit from the messages from this conference. So please do not stop doing this. Then, of course, I would like to thank, first of all, my closest team, because we are a very small team. It's basically until the last week, we are only 3-4 people doing all this job. So I would like to thank Elna, Eva, Terasmägi, Eppa Alma, Kristi Luigelaht, Piret Kuusik. Please stand up and please applaud to them. And I would also like to thank Sven and Thomas and Tony and everybody else at the ICDS who have been supportive on this way. And of course, my media person, Maris Hellrand, who has done a wonderful job. And I would like to thank Ivar and his technical team that also has been perfect all these years. So thank you very much. And the volunteers. If the volunteers are here, please stand up and please applaud them as well, because without them, we couldn't do this. And of course, the hotel, Radisson, our home, our second home at the LMC, Kirli and Piret. I mean, I have never met friendlier persons like these are, and they have been very helpful and very flexible all the time and all these years. And I would also, as this is my last time, so of course there are many people who have helped me and inspired me, but there are some people who have been by my side all these years with ideas, supporting when I'm really thinking that this is not going very well at all. And I would like to name their names. I don't know whether they are here or not, but first of all, I would like to thank Kadri Liik. I mean, when I have very, very difficult moments, then I always call her up, and she, at least she knows exactly how I feel. And I think that the best way to thank you is to be the same kind of support for Eva in the future. I also want to thank Mati Maasikas and Clyde Kull and Jüri Luik, who have been there for me through all these years, no matter what the institutions they represent. And of course, I want to thank all of you, because you make the party. I give it just a space. And thank you for coming and playing along and giving me ideas and suggesting names. And thank you for coming to Tartu, for taking this extra day. And actually, I would like to finish with a funny story, how the present meets history, which actually happened on our Tartu trip. Uffe Ellemann-Jensen is not here. I can't see him, but we were divided into 3 groups. 2 of them went on walking tours in Tartu Old Town, and 1 group went to Estonian National Museum, and Uffe was one of them who went to the museum. And at some point, the guide was introducing this very fancy mobile phone that Lennart Meri had, which weighed about 2 or 3 kilos. And Lennart Meri had bought this phone in order to call up Uffe Ellemann-Jensen. And the guide was explaining the whole story and how it went on and how this worked. And then Uffe said that, okay, I have a slightly different story about this. I have heard, and then he told his story. And the guide was a little bit like, yeah, but I mean, who are you to tell me? And then somebody pointed out to that guy that this is actually Uffe Ellemann-Jensen. So I wish you very safe flights home. Please come back again next year. I will be waiting for an invitation as a participant so I can actually enjoy the conference. And that is it. Thank you very much.